This is the Aftermarket Radio Network.
Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast. I am your host, Brian Walker, and today I'm going to be talking about an interesting topic, and that is branding your shop as a concierge auto repair shop. That's a little different. But thank you to our friends at RepairPal for providing this episode. RepairPal will grow your auto repair business. You can learn more at RepairPal.com/shops. And are you ready to convert clients to members? AppFueled specializes in creating custom apps tailored specifically for professional auto repair businesses. Visit AppFueled.com to get started today. Keep your shop top of mind on the mobile device they love. All right, so this episode came out of a Facebook message that I received. There is a person who is in our Facebook group, the Auto Repair Marketing Mastermind, and they had reached out to me specifically, and they wanted me to evaluate their marketing. They work with another marketing company. They wanted me to just take a look at it because they've been getting a lot of phone calls from lower end clients. And look, let me specify. When I say a lower end client, you know what I mean, all right? I'm not getting into like classes of people or anything. There's nothing wrong with the people. It's just that the people have older vehicles and they may or may not have the money to do repairs the way that they would want to do them. I don't know how really to refer to that in a different way. So I'm just going to say lower end client. I mean, nothing about the person themselves, okay? But they're getting a lot of these calls from people that, probably cannot afford the services, or they've got 1996 Dodge Caravan with 285,000 miles on it. He does not want to work on this type of stuff. And it doesn't surprise me because the vast majority of our clients at Shop Marketing Pros, they don't want to work on stuff like that. As a matter of fact, many of them have age cutoffs for the cars that they will work on. And he wanted me to take a look at the marketing and determine, is there something about the marketing that's causing these people to call? And the first thing that I had to address with him is that, look, our clients get those calls too. You're never going to completely get rid of those calls because the people that have these older vehicles, they're going to need repair probably at a higher rate, or not probably, but at a higher rate than people who have a much newer car, the ones that you actually want to be working on. Unless you specifically do something in your business to deter people that don't have the money to fix their car, or to deter people with older vehicles, higher mileage vehicles, then you're going to get those calls. And there's not much that you can do about that. But those calls should not come at a disproportionate volume to calls from qualified clients. So, we got into a discussion about it. I started looking at his marketing. I didn't see anything at all wrong with the marketing. The company that he is working with is doing a good job for him. They built him a nice website. When I was looking at the website, I was admiring the fact that he's got nice pictures there. You can tell that he takes pride in his shop. It's clean. It's organized. His uniforms are well kept. Like, it looks like a very professional operation when you look at his website. Now, I went and looked at his Google business profile, and I didn't see anything wrong with the Google business profile. It looked fine. I'd have liked to have seen some more pictures of the outside of the shop on the Google business profile. But the one picture that I saw of the outside of the shop, I could tell it wasn't a big shop. It's like a 2-bay shop from what I could see. However, I did realize afterwards that I was not actually looking at the shop, and I'll get into that in a second. But when I look on the Google business profile, it's a picture of a nice 2-bay shop that is his. It is right there with his shop. And it has like the glass, like firehouse garage doors and everything. It looks super, super nice. Metal building with stone work on the bottom. Like just a really awesome looking place. And I sent him that picture and I just said, hey, is this your shop? And he said, no, my shop's actually behind that. He said, you'd do better to look at it on Google Maps. So I dropped his address in Google Maps or Google Earth and looked at the satellite view. And I could see that his shop is attached to that building. The building's kind of shaped like a T, and the shop goes off the back of it. And I think the shop is a 3-bay shop, if I'm not mistaken. But it's at his house. Like, this shop is in his backyard. He lives in a very nice area, kind of a suburb of a larger area. And it's an area known to be kind of a higher end area. And with where we're going with this, that's a good thing. So, I can tell that it's a very nice house and, well-kept property and everything. I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, all right, this shop it's in his backyard. The guy has a very high attention to like keeping his place and his things in good condition, which tells me that he's going to do the same thing when he's working on my car, and it's like, all right, I think that there's something that he could do here that would deter the types of phone calls that he's getting a lot of and shift his business in a direction that he would like. As I talked to him, I learned a few things. All right, number one, he was a mechanical engineer that decided that he wanted to open his own business, and he landed on auto repair. I don't know the whole story on that, but I learned that he is still working full-time in his mechanical engineering job and working to move out of that to be full-time auto repair. And I learned that he's debt-free. Okay. And like all of these things, all right, I'm looking at this. This is a very nice house on a fairly large piece of property with a really nice shop. This guy is, from the pictures I saw, and I know it's hard to tell, someone by the pictures, but I would say he's in his late 30s, early 40s, and he's debt-free. He made it a point to tell me that like that house and the shop and everything, he owns it all outright. When you are that detail-oriented person, when you take a high level of pride in the work that you do, when you are living life to a way that you can have what he has and be debt-free, you are a person who can take care of people on a different level than many others who are out there. So as I'm communicating with him, I told him, I'm like, man, I think that you ought to brand your shop as a Concierge Auto Repair Shop. He says, you mean like white glove service? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. White glove service. Living in an area like he is in, where there's a lot of money, running an operation the way that he is more than capable of running it, he can have high success with this. Now the question is, how do you brand a shop as Concierge Auto Repair? And do you even want to become a concierge shop? All right. If you are looking to just churn and burn cars, you don't want to be a concierge shop. You want to get as many people through the shop as you can get. But if you want to have a lower car count, higher average repair order, and have a business where you just go over the top with your customer service and the experiences that you create for people, then Concierge Auto Repair it's something that might be great for you. I have another client that has a shop in the Hamptons, and he does Concierge Auto Repair as it is, but is looking to possibly go to a membership-based system. So you can take this thing to different levels. There's really no end to the level that you can take it to. But let's talk about how you would brand a shop as Concierge Auto Repair. All right. So the first thing is you start talking about how well you take care of your clients and you don't shut up about it. Honestly, that's what we've done at Shop Marketing Pros. And you have to be willing to toot your own horn. And I don't mean in a braggadocious kind of way. You don't, like, nobody likes a bragger. But there are ways that you can work things into your advertising and the way that you talk about yourself that people are going to pick up on. And they're going to start associating you with those things. When we had our shop, Peak Automotive, we branded ourselves as the Triangle's most female-friendly shop. And that came from Kim overhearing our service advisors asking someone, how did you hear about us? And the lady said, well, one of my friends said that you're the most female-friendly shop in the Triangle. And when she heard that, she was like, oh my gosh, we have to use that. And we did. And we made it a point to start going over and above to make sure that we were catering to ladies in our auto repair business. And it was very lucrative to us. It essentially became who we were. So you start talking about how well you take care of your clients and you don't shut up about it. And the thing that you need to understand is that there's power in words. You start talking about it and don't shut up about it. You're doing that as much for yourself as you are for the people that you're talking to, because you start believing the things that you say, and you will start going out of your way to find ways to just go more and more over the top with that service that you are providing. The other thing that you need to do is you need to go out and have high-end experiences yourself. All right. So if you're going to brand your shop as a Concierge Auto Repair Shop, you need to go to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, go stay at the Ritz-Carlton, go on a Disney cruise, like go have these experiences where the places where you're going are known to create those over-the-top customer service experiences, because you need to experience it. You need to be blown away, and you need to look at it and say, how can I create experiences like this for my clients? And it might be different, but it also might be really the same. The experience that the Ritz-Carlton gives their clients, you go spend one night, just one night. Right now, it is a difficult thing for you to afford. Don't go try to spend a week there. Just go spend a night. Go have that dinner at Ruth's Chris. Go spend a night at the Ritz-Carlton. You don't need to make that like a full vacation, but you need to go experience it, because when you experience it, it's going to open your mind to new things, and it's going to show you the way that you need to be treating your clients as a Concierge Auto Repair Shop. When you give people these experiences, all right, if we look at Disney, people don't talk about how clean Disney is, but it's clean. People don't talk about how good the food is at Disney. It's good enough. It's a theme park, but that's not what they're there for. They are there for the experiences that are created for them. Like, you go to Disney for the experience. It's expensive as can be to go to Disney. If you go in the summer, you are going to be sweating your tail off. You are going to be standing in line. And people do this by the thousands to get the Disney experience. Now, I come at this with Disney from a little bit of a different direction, all right? You're not going to find me inside of a Disney theme park. I want nothing to do with it. However, you will find me on a Disney cruise. We have done, it's either 5 or 6 Disney cruises to date, my family and I. And the very first Disney cruise that we went on, I think my son was 3 years old at the time. Like I say, it was our first cruise. We did a land and sea package. So we went to the theme parks first, and then we went on a 3-day cruise. And thank God we did it that way, because the nice thing is that you go wear yourself out at the park, and then you go relax the rest of the time on the cruise ship. But here my son is, he's 3 years old, and we're on the last night of the cruise. And we have told this story to so many people because it made an impression on us, all right? We're sitting there at dinner, and our son, he's done. He's 6 days into a vacation. He's 3 years old. He is D-U-N, done. And he starts losing his crap at the table. And look, we're not those people that just let our kid lose their crap at the table. Our niece was with us on that cruise, and she was done eating and everything. We said, Casey, why don't you take Peyton out of the restaurant? So she does. And next thing we know, a few minutes later, here comes Casey, and the cruise director has got Peyton in his arms, and Peyton is just laughing and smiling, and he is the happiest kid that he can be, because this cruise director saw that my son was not having a great time, and he took it upon himself to change my son's attitude. Look, when I change my son's attitude, it's a completely different experience when the cruise director on the Disney Wonder changes his attitude, because it was a great experience for Peyton. He loved it. He comes in there smiling and laughing, and we were just blown away. And you sit him back down at the table, and he had a great night the rest of the night. And that's the kind of experience that we have with Disney cruises. And like I said, we've been on either 5 or 6 more, either 4 or 5 more after that one because of that. And Kim and I cannot wait to take our grandkids on a Disney cruise. We don't really do the Disney cruise thing now, because our son is 22 years old in the military. And you could, as adults, go on a Disney cruise, but we tend to, go on some of the other lines right now. And when there are young kids in our lives again as grandparents, we will absolutely be going on those Disney cruises again. And everything about it is different. And that's how it needs to be if you're going to have a Concierge Auto Repair Shop. Everything about the person's experience needs to be different. And look, you're waiting for me to start talking about marketing. And I might touch on a couple little things. I don't know if I'm going to or not, because the marketing that you're going to do in a business like that is creating raving fan experiences for your clients who are going to go out and tell their friends about your shop. And that doesn't mean that you won't do some other types of marketing, and you will, and that marketing will be different. But the primary thing that you are going to do is you're going to create those amazing experiences for people. And then you do need to tell the world about that. So yeah, I guess that is where the marketing talk comes into this. I love talking about sponsors of the podcast who have already worked with and who I've used before. So today, I'm super excited to talk to you about RepairPal, which, if you didn't know, will introduce your shop to new customers through RepairPal.com, the largest site for auto repair, and through the recommendation of their partners like USAA, CarMax, and Consumer Reports. Our shop was in a RepairPal certified network, and it was great for getting new customers who were looking for more than just oil changes. The average RepairPal customer spends over $600 on their first visit. I loved it, especially because we all know that consumers still mistrust repair shops. But the millions of customers that visit RepairPal.com monthly, they trust RepairPal certified shops for their high quality and great service. And there's no fear about being overcharged, so we were able to just focus on the repair. I highly recommend you check them out. It's the way to grow your business. Go to RepairPal.com/shops, get 1 month of service free, and save $150 off certification. Independent auto repair shops, get ready to transform your business with AppFueled. It's time for your professional auto service shop to have its own customer loyalty app. AppFueled will build an app that launches a custom loyalty program for your shop in 30 days or less, fully integrated with your point of sale system. Bring Fortune 500 level customer retention strategies to your business without the Fortune 500 budget. Many shops are enjoying the benefits. Our app engages your customers with a loyalty ladder, enticing them to climb the next rung, coming back more often and spending more each visit, all with your own app. Build loyalty with your customers to your brand and boost your shop's growth. Get your first app in 30 days or less, all without breaking the bank. Ready to start? Let AppFueled take your business to the next level. Go to appfueled.com or meet founder Jeremy Glasgow and book your complimentary app vision session at appfueled.com/Jeremy. That's appfueled.com/Jeremy. You know, your advertising should look different. You're not going to put pictures of Camrys and Accords when you're talking about Concierge Auto Repair, although you can absolutely do Concierge Auto Repair for people who drive normal vehicles. You know, Dave Ramsey talks about it all the time, about how the everyday millionaire drives a 2 to 3 year old car, and it's nothing special because they actually don't want to stand out in most cases, but they do want to be treated incredibly well. So those people can be your clients, but you still need your marketing to look higher end. All right. You are not going to, go into Canva and find some template that you have in there to create a graphic for your Concierge Auto Repair business. You need to make something that is going to stand out, that is going to look high end, that is going to look very professional. Your logo is going to look different. Your website is going to look different. You're not going to have flames and eagles and Corvettes on your website, which you shouldn't do that anyway. But your website is going to be very customer-centric, not car-centric. Your direct mail pieces, if you decide to go that route, are going to have a more high-end feel to them. They're probably going to have blacks and golds and silvers and stuff like that. Things that are going to stand out to people that are looking for a higher-end service. But beyond just the advertising that you're doing, your parking lot should look different. If you offer Concierge Auto Repair, then you shouldn't have a bunch of broken down looking cars sitting in your parking lot. You shouldn't have junk in the parking lot. I have an entire blog post, and I think I did a podcast about it, where it was titled something about what bikes do you have in your yard? And it's a reference to when we were kids, how we would all know where everyone was by the bikes being out in, the front yard of the person's house where all of the kids were. Well, that's how we knew to get there. And that's one of the ways that your clients know to come to you is, do they see the type of vehicle that they drive? Now, I'm not talking about brand. I'm talking about overall. Do they drive a beater? They're going to go to an auto repair shop that has a bunch of beaters outside. Do they drive a luxury car? They're going to go to an auto repair shop that has some luxury cars outside. So your parking lot needs to be full of the type of vehicles that you want to work on, which means nicer vehicles that are well taken care of, that are there for their preventative maintenance, or that very odd case where it actually breaks down. Because you know as well as I do that cars just don't break like they used to. So your parking lot should look different. Your bathroom should look and smell different. When somebody comes into your shop, your waiting area, your bathroom, all of it should look different. The shop itself should be immaculately clean and organized. The way that you answer the phone should be different. I didn't even realize that we were operating Concierge Auto Repair when we had our shop at Peak Automotive. But we were picking people up. We were dropping people off. We had loaner cars. And look, this was in 2005. We had loaner cars. We had a waiting room that was as nice as anyone's living room. We had an incredibly clean bathroom. Our service advisors were wearing like nice button-up dress shirts and ties. Oh, and by the way, side note, this will be the first that I'm mentioning this, but we've talked about our service advisor on so many podcasts, and we had him on our podcast not long ago. His name is Michael Doherty. Michael is actually coming to work with us at Shop Marketing Pros. By the time that you listen to this, he will have been working with us for 3 weeks or a month, and he will be a customer success manager of sense. He'll be an account manager. So he will essentially be doing the same exact thing, except for instead of handling people's cars, he will be handling shops marketing. And he will be your service advisor if you were working with us at Shop Marketing Pros. So I'm really excited about that. But our service advisors were dressed very professionally. I'm not talking about business casual. They were dressed like business professional. And we took care of our clients. I hear people in the industry like Dutch Silverstein, for example, talking about how you shouldn't be doing sales. You should be doing client advocacy. I agree with him and I disagree with him because I believe that sales is an important part of any business. And I believe that even as a customer advocate, you're still doing sales. Okay. It's just a fancy word for sales, but it's ethical sales. And to me, there's only one way that you do sales, and that's ethically. So, to me, it's the same thing, but you should be your customer's advocate. We were our customer's advocate at Peak Automotive. Anyway, what I was saying, because I got a little down a rabbit trail there, the way that you answer the phone should be different. When we answered the phone at Peak Automotive, we would say, "Thank you for calling Peak Automotive. This is Brian. I can help you." Not "how can I help you?" Not "may I help you?" It was "I can help you." So I'm setting the precedent up front. And this wasn't just some little thing that we did. We did this to set the expectation for the client, but also to set the expectation to ourselves of what we were about to do with our client. We were about to help them. "Thank you for calling Peak Automotive. This is Brian. I can help you." The way that you answer the phone should be different. The experience that people have when they call auto repair shops, it is across the board. It is more good or more bad than it is good. Now, understand, when we talk about the industry and we talk about the people who are involved in the industry, the people who are going to the big shows, the Visions, the ASTAs, the STXs, the Napa event, and all of that, the people that are involved in the industry, honestly, the people that are listening to this podcast, they are not representative of the industry as a whole. They say there's 250,000 auto repair shops in the industry. About 125,000 of those are independent shops, about half of them. The other half are like your franchise shops and stuff. But of those 125,000 independent shops, there's about 20,000 of them, from what we've estimated, that are involved at an industry level. And those shops, the ones that we see all the time when we go to the shows, the ones that, the majority of them who are our clients, they are the better shops. They are the ones who, they give a great experience for the most part when somebody calls them. But there are a lot more in the industry as a whole that are not doing that. And your clients need to have that great experience from the moment that they call. The phone call should be different. Your social media should be different. When you're doing your social media, you're not going to just throw some post out there about taking care of your car, which, yeah, you'll do that every once in a while. There should be a good mix, but your social media should show the way that you take care of your clients. There's a couple of people that I always like to tell people, go look at their videos. Greg Buckley is one of those people that just does a really great job with his videos. When you watch him speak, you trust him. And like, he's the kind of person that you just know, if I bring my car to him, it's going to be fixed. It's going to be fixed right. And it puts you at ease. And that's who you should be. The other one is Nico Suglia with Charlie's Foreign Car. You can look up either of these guys on YouTube. Go look at, Buckley's Auto Center or Centers or Charlie's Foreign Car on YouTube and go watch some of their videos. Greg did one recently where he was talking about a CV shaft. Nico did one. He doesn't do them near as much, but he did one that will probably come up as one of the top results where he's talking about control arm bushings. And just look at the way that these guys talk. They talk with certainty. They're calm. They're collected. And they just exude competence in what they're saying. And that is what you need to be, especially in the situation where you're doing concierge auto repair. But you also need to talk about the way that you're taking care of your clients. And it can be as simple as just dropping little hints in there. Like, we went to this client's house and picked up their vehicle, and on the way back, this is what we were experiencing. You're focusing on what you were experiencing, but you're talking about the fact that you went to this person's house and picked up their vehicle. There's all kinds of things that you're going to learn to do as a concierge auto repair shop that you can just drop hints of what you're doing. And you're not bragging. You're just telling a story. So your social media should be different. The leave behind. And I say the leave behind. Most shops don't even have a leave behind. But I talk about the things that Michael used to do because, again, I didn't even realize we were a concierge auto repair shop. But when a client would come to pick up their car, before Michael went through the checkout process, he got the key, walked out to the car, started it up, backs it up by the door, and has the air conditioner or the heater running, depending on the time of year, so that it's nice and comfortable for the client when they get in. Well, at that point, you can go leave something in the car, like some kind of a nice chocolate truffle or something like that. Like if you go to a high-end hotel and they leave the chocolate on your pillow, well, you're trying to create the same experience. So leave something nice for them in their car. Maybe it isn't chocolate, but you can decide, on what that is. But your leave behind should be different than the typical auto repair. Working with you should feel exclusive because not everyone gets to work with a shop like yours. It should feel exclusive. It should be exclusive. It should be more expensive to work with a concierge auto repair shop. But you have to live up to the expectation. You set a very high expectation and you live up to and you go beyond and exceed that expectation. You're creating those amazing customer experiences, but you're also doing things like if the car needs recalls, while you have it, go drop it off at the dealership for the client and have the recalls done for them. Car needs an inspection sticker put on it, take care of it. Whether you do it at your shop or not, if you don't do inspections, you take it to your local inspection station that you have a relationship with, and you get the inspection sticker put on it. For some of these things, I don't even feel like you need to call and ask the client. You just do it. You add $20 to the ticket for the inspection sticker, and I know some states are going to be more, but in Louisiana, it's $20 for a 2-year inspection. But if you're in a state where it's a lot more, maybe you do ask. But you just go get it done and you add it to the ticket. You take care of it for the client. It's like filling the car up with gas. When they come to pick up the car, they should pick up a car that's full of gas if you're a concierge auto repair shop. And you add the gas to the bill. No charge for doing it, but the price of the gas itself should be added to the bill. And then things like this. So my best friend just had his car in and he had shocks and struts put on it, his wife's car actually. And the shop that he was at, they did the work. And then when he picked it up, they told him, hey, you're going to need to take this somewhere to get an alignment. First of all, if they're not willing to do that themselves, they should have told him while they were giving him the estimate on the car, on the repairs, that you're going to need to take it and get an alignment done. But no, he finds this out while he's paying for the car as he's picking it up, that now he has to go get an alignment done on it. And he was telling us about this the other night, and it ticked him off. They created what would have been a great customer experience otherwise, and they turned it into a poor experience because now he just got hit with something else that he needs to add to his to-do list. You're not going to do that, especially, you shouldn't do it at all, but especially in a concierge auto repair shop. You're just going to take the car and have the alignment done. You are essentially that person's vehicle butler. It's a concierge. It's kind of the definition. I should have looked it up so I could tell you what the exact definition of a concierge is. But you go to a nice hotel, that concierge desk is going to do whatever you need them to do. They're going to figure it out. They're going to take care of it for you. And that is what you are doing in a concierge auto repair shop. And again, you're going to tell the world about it without bragging through your marketing. Your marketing is going to exude a higher level of everything because everything that you do is going to be a higher level. If you're thinking about doing this, you should definitely read the book Raving Fans. Raving Fans it gives quite a few examples from a grocery store to a taxi cab driver. It gives a bunch of examples of how people did things different. And it's kind of a parable, short, easy read. But you'll be reading that and you'll be thinking, I can do this. Oh, I can do that. Ooh, I could do this too. And that's what it is that you want to do. You want to create the amazing experience, make your client's life easier, and provide an incredibly high level of auto repair as well, because we didn't even talk about that. Do not become a concierge auto repair shop if you're not incredibly good at fixing the cars. Make sure that part is number one. It should have been the first thing that I mentioned. But I don't know. I enjoyed talking about this today. I think if I ever found myself, or I know I would. I know 100%. If I ever found myself owning an auto repair shop again, it would be a concierge auto repair shop. That's what we do as Shop Marketing Pros. We're concierge marketers, essentially. And if I owned an auto repair shop, I would definitely be a concierge auto repair shop because it's just in me to create that type of a business and to create those types of experiences for our clients. And are we perfect? We are absolutely not perfect. And you are not going to be perfect in your auto repair shop either. The best shops in the world are not perfect. So, understand that. But you do a better job than most. You create experiences for your clients. And you're one of the best. Not perfect, but you're one of the best. I hope that gave you some ideas. Even if you have zero desire to create a concierge auto repair shop, you can become a step between where you are and that. And it's going to make for better experiences for your clients, and it's going to make you a better shop. So I hope you enjoyed this today. I want to thank our sponsors, RepairPal and AppFueled, again. We could not do this without them. And remember, we are just one of a handful of podcasts on the Aftermarket Radio Network. You can find the others at aftermarketradionetwork.com. I hope that you'll listen in again next week. And until then, go fill those bays.
You've been listening to the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast with Kim and Brian Walker. Follow the podcast on your favorite listening app. Find their emails in the show notes and visit them at shopmarketingpros.com. Let Kim and Brian know what you want discussed because they're all about advancing the aftermarket.